You have to forgive me. I'll be fumbling around here till I figure out how to really use this. So the topic today is Jeff still mentioning Angel Reese's name in his press conferences. I don't understand why him and Sloot will not just say we've moved on. We want to focus on this year's players and leave it at that. They both still got to keep mentioning Angel and the fans that support Angels. But I hope Sloot knows that there are still Chicago Sky fans that supported Angel. So she wasn't just talking about Angel's followings, she was also talking about Chicago Sky base fans that are still fans of the players, but not the organization. So if I was Sloot, I'd watch what I say. But let's get on with the topic. So Jeff had an interview with Alicia Hirsch on April 22nd, 2026 at 9:09 p.m. Is the timestamp for this article. It's titled, "Will This Time Be Different? Sky Push for Fresh Start." So I'll go ahead and I'll read the pages and then just kind of stop in between for the quoted material. So it says there are two distinct feelings coming out of Sky training camp. One comes from Courtney Vandersloot and Azare Stevens. They helped deliver the Sky's only WNBA title in 2021 and want to get back to the standard. The other comes from Coach Tyler Marsh and General Manager Jeff Pagliocca, who would like a fresh start and who wouldn't after the last 2 years. Losing seasons, coaching turnover, and a practice facility that still isn't ready. Despite being promised by the end of 2025, despite all that baggage, the front office managed to put together a competitive roster for 2026 season. There's the intriguing new front court pairing of Camila Cardosa and Rickea Jackson, a rather accomplished backcourt featuring Skylar Diggins and Vandersloot, and a lottery pick in Gabrielle Jaquez, fresh off an NCAA title at UCLA. Okay, so this is just the writer giving her own little piece of information of what she thinks about the team. So then the next, hold on, I'm just switching pages. Sorry about that. So the first question Jeff was asked, there was a comment. This is a quoted. It says from Jeff, "I think we should take a moment to step back and see what this is going to look like." Speaking about the team, Pagliocca said Wednesday, "because it's an awful, exciting, energetic group that we've put together." End of quote. And then the writer goes on to say, "You can understand that sentiment, can't you? That desire to turn a new leaf, to honor the potential. You also can understand the hesitation from fans. So many disappointments since the 2021 title. Remember when Kalia Copper was supposed to be the new face of the franchise? Remember when it was Angel Reese? The Sky, she had to throw Angel's name in there as well. But we all know that Jeff did never liked Angel. Jeff never wanted to draft Angel. So Angel was never supposed to be the face of the franchise. So I don't even know why she threw that in there, even though Angel should have been the face of the franchise. She brought in all that money. They made that big profit. Was it $240 million profit, up from 85 million First profit the Sky has ever made? The Sky traded up to draft Reese in 2024, touted her as the future, which they never did. They never touted her as the future. Then flipped her for future first round picks. Don't fans have the right to protect themselves from further heartbreak? This is still the writer speaking. At the request of media, Pagliocca addressed his off-season dealings at the length Wednesday, including the blockbuster trade of Reese. How the Reese deal went down. Okay, this is quote, start of quote Jeff. It was a decision we made together. We remained in constant contact with Angel and her team after the season. Over that time, there were conversations with Atlanta. They expressed interest. That was a destination that was favorable for her. End of quote. Next question was on the return of the deal. Begin of quote of Jeff. If the return wasn't what we were looking for, we weren't going to move Angel. It had to be favorable for both sides. It's not often you get 2 first-round picks back. End of quote. Now, Jeff knows that's some real bull crap right there. He knows he was going to do everything in his power to get rid of Angel because he never wanted Angel. We've all seen that video, the draft night video of his expression. We've all seen it. Okay, next page. Got 2 more pages after this. So this is another quote from Jeff. In regards of the writer asking him on whether Reese's suspensions last season was a factor, was the question. Begin of quote. The trade was nothing that was contentious at any point. It was nothing that was contentious at any point. We had closed that chapter on the suspension. Just a competitive player. Things were said. She handled it, and we moved forward. End of quote. Next question was on whether the Twin Towers pairing of Reese and Cardoso failed. Begin of quote by Jeff. There's a lot of games where they played extremely well together, but systems change, people change, coaching staffs change. We have to make sure that we're fitting players that are going to fit the best in Tyler's system. Let me read that part again. There's a lot of games where they played extremely well, but the system changed. People change, coaching staffs change. We have to make sure that we're fitting players that are going to fit best in Tyler's system. Okay, that's end of quote. So basically, he's trying to say that Angel didn't fit into Tyler's system. And if we all remember Tyler's first interview, when they were talking about the rookies that got drafted, he just kept stressing how Hawkes is so good that she can play in anyone's system. He just kept on saying it over and over. And I didn't get why until now. So they're both throwing shade at Angel, trying to say Angel didn't fit in Tyler's system. So basically, that's the reason Jeff is trying to give for getting rid of Angel. But I'm so happy she's out of there. I really am. I'm so glad she's out of there. But yeah, not being able to fit in Tyler's system is real funny. That's real funny. When she was the main one leading that team last year after Sloot went down. Okay, on to the next the next question was on what roster balance really meant. Clearly, I've been aggressive in getting players that I think are going to fit the way that I want to play. See that? Let me read that again. This is Jeff. Clearly, I've been aggressive in getting players that I think are going to fit the way that I want to play, that Tyler wants to play. The balance sometimes means we have to trade a player to make sure we can rebuild some future draft capital. So, yeah, let me read that one part again. Jeff's begin of quote. Clearly, I have been aggressive in getting players that I think are going to fit the way that I want to play, that Tyler wants to play. So we all know last year you saw GM Jeff, at practice, calling shots, saying what he wanted players to do. So this statement tells me that having Angel on his roster wasn't ideal for him. He wanted something else. He wanted he wanted he just didn't want Angel. He for what his style, what he wanted. He just wanted he wants all foreign players is what I believe. He wants international players. He wants what they're trying to do, I believe, is similar to what Atlanta Dream did last year and was successful at it. See, they wanted 3-point shooters to be able to knock out shots and that sort of system similar to the Atlanta Dreams Schmecko system. So he felt like Angel was in his way of getting that, which honestly that wasn't the issue. Okay, so it goes on. The writer says that's about as candid as an explanation as you'll hear from a GM in public. Are there more layers to the trade? You bet. Will the full story even come to light? Probably not. On some levels, fans will have pull up the final page here. Fans will have fans on some levels, fans will have to take another leap of faith. And at least for now, the energy at camp backs it up. Just listen to Jackson. This is a quote, begin of quote from Rickea Jackson. I mean, it's only day 3, and honestly want to run through a wall for Tyler. For Jeff, she said, like, I truly felt welcome here. I truly feel seen from the beginning, and that's just something that I've been missing in my career. Just feeling wanted, just feeling like you see me as I see myself. And the that was end of quote. And then the final writer's comment was, maybe the Jackson Cardoso duel is here to stay. I honestly don't think they have plans on keeping Camilla, and I hope Camilla gets out of there as well. And I just hope that Kia and these other players just keep an open mind when it comes to the organization, because as soon as Kia's not playing up to Jeff's standards or doing what Jeff wants her to do, she's going to be on his hit list to have hit pieces out there put on her. So, Sloot thinking that she's gotten rid of Angel's fan base. She hasn't, because it's more than just Angel fans. There's Chicago-based fans out there that love Angel as well. So, I don't wish no downfall on the players. I hope the players do well, but I do wish a downfall on Chicago Sky organization. It needs to be sold. They need to be dealt with. And y'all just give me y'all thoughts. Just leave me some comments how y'all thought I did on my first live. I know it's probably sound like I was rambling on here, but I'll get used to it, I guess. And I got to get used to the features. But yeah, it just kind of just pissed me off when I read that, when Jeff tried to put it on Angel not being able to fit. He didn't feel like Angel fit in Tyler's system, which is really crazy, which one of the only ones that produced last year. It's just nuts. I'm just looking forward to seeing Angel and all her new teammates play with Atlanta Dream and just be so successful this year. All right, that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys like it. Thanks.